Hi, I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm running for United States Senate to represent Wisconsin. There's been a very controversial figure in the news lately, one Mr. Donald Trump. What should we make of Donald Trump? As libertarians or as people that normally vote Republican or Democrat, what should we make of this guy? Well, the scene that I call to mind is from the movie Caddyshack. So the beginning of Caddyshack, there's this tranquil country club atmosphere, a definite pecking order. Judge Smalls is sort of the ruler of the roost at the country club. Other people are there. And here shows up Rodney Dangerfield to make a mess of it all. He's rich enough to be a member of the country club, but he just doesn't play by the same rules. So he rolls in with his huge boat, his huge car, his weird golf clubs. He insults everybody. He just sort of takes over. And for a while, actually for the whole movie, Caddyshack's hilarious. We think it's funny. We sort of celebrate the fact that he's upsetting the apple cart, so to speak. But do we really want a guy like this to be president? What's his past? What has he said in the past that leads us to believe that he has any qualifications, any principles, anything? And actually, another analogy I'd like to draw is that Donald Trump is kind of like the guy that shows up to the party, and you're hanging out with the guys, and there's women there as well, and he starts talking about his business conquests or his romantic conquests, and you're not quite sure whether to believe him or not, but as it turns out, he ends up making a friend of somebody else at the party and leaving together, and you find out later that basically he just threw up all over them and made a mess of himself. And so you find out later, talking to other people that know him, that sure, he's had lots of business conquests, etc., but nobody likes him. Nobody really profited from them. Nobody was really satisfied, that he just made a mess of himself and just uses people and moves on to one conquest after another. And while in the moment it might be hilarious that this guy's out there doing these sort of things, it might even make you a little bit envious that he has the power or the charisma or the confidence to do that. In the end, it's not good for people. It's not good for the people he interacts with. It's probably not good for the people he works for. It's just not a healthy situation. So that's my take on Donald Trump. He is entertaining. I sort of like the guy. I wouldn't mind having a beer with the guy. However, I would not want him to be our president because he's clearly unprincipled. He does not have the experience. He makes deals, but what does that mean? You don't make deals in a vacuum. You have to deal with Congress. You have to, unfortunately, deal with the United Nations. You have to deal with all these other people that aren't impressed by his real estate deals. They're not impressed by his brash behavior. They're just going to put him in his place, and they're going to choose to not deal with us, and they're going to treat him for what he is, and that is a bully, and in the end, a soft fascist. So that's all I have to say today on my take on Donald Trump. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.